Do you know the strongest weapon you have? Silence. Do you know the greatest investment you'll ever make? Yourself. The world is loud. Everyone has an opinion about who you should be, how you should act, and what you should do. But here's the truth. The moment you start listening to that noise, you lose your power. Today, I'm going to show you why focusing on yourself and staying silent is the ultimate strategy for dominance, growth, and unshakable strength. Society has conditioned us to seek validation, to announce our plans, to explain our moves, to get approval. But powerful people don't do this. They move in silence. They master themselves first. They don't waste time explaining or seeking approval. They don't compete with others. They compete with the version of themselves from yesterday. The world is watching, waiting for you to reveal your weaknesses, to expose your vulnerabilities. But the ones who truly succeed understand the art of restraint. They protect their vision. They build their future, brick by brick, without broadcasting every step. Because success isn't loud, it's the quiet accumulation of effort, discipline, and focus. Silence is the foundation of strength, a force misunderstood by many yet mastered by the most powerful individuals. In a world where people feel compelled to speak, to justify, and to be heard, silence stands as a rare commodity. It is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of control. A deliberate act of restraint that signifies dominance over one's own impulses and emotions. The ability to stay silent in the face of provocation, distraction, or pressure is the mark of someone who has mastered themselves, someone who refuses to let external noise dictate their path. When silence is wielded strategically, it commands respect. People talk because they feel the need to explain, to prove their worth, or to seek validation. But true leaders, those who understand power, know that words can diminish strength when used carelessly. Silence, on the other hand, heightens presence. It makes people question, wonder, and respect the mystery surrounding you. It forces others to listen, not because they are overwhelmed by words, but because they are drawn to the authority of quiet confidence. The most influential people in history have recognized the power of silence, not as passive absence, but as an active force that shapes perception and controls the flow of energy. In battle, in negotiation, and in personal growth, silence is a shield. It protects ambition from those who seek to derail it. The moment you reveal too much, the moment you expose your thoughts and intentions, you give away leverage. Silence keeps your plans intact, your mind focused, and your enemies uncertain. Those who move in silence dictate the game, because their intentions remain unpredictable. They let their actions speak rather than their words, proving that execution is more powerful than idle conversation. Discipline is built in silence. Growth is cultivated in solitude. The loud voices of the world distract and derail, pulling focus away from personal mastery and into the chaos of opinions and external influence. The individual who embraces silence creates space for deep thinking, self-reflection, and undisturbed progress. Those who learn to be comfortable with silence develop an unbreakable mentality, a fortress that no external pressure can penetrate. Silence teaches patience, and patience breeds power. In confrontation, silence dismantles aggression. When someone seeks to control you through intimidation, reacting emotionally gives them an advantage. But responding with silence forces them to confront their own weakness. It strips away their ability to manipulate through words or emotional pressure. Silence in the face of conflict is not avoidance. It is control. It places you in the position of authority, making it clear that you do not operate on their terms, but on your own. Silence also strengthens relationships. It is in quiet moments that the deepest connections are formed. Many people believe that speaking more will bring closeness, that constant conversation will strengthen bonds. But true understanding comes from presence, from the ability to simply exist in silence with someone without the need for unnecessary words. The energy exchanged in silence is far more powerful than the noise of endless talking. The ability to listen, to observe, and to respond with calculated words, instead of impulsive chatter, distinguishes those who hold influence from those who waste it. Emotion is best controlled through silence. When anger arises, when frustration mounts, silence preserves dignity. Speaking in rage, in desperation, in uncontrolled emotion diminishes stature. But the one who remains silent in moments of heightened emotion demonstrates mastery over their own mind. They allow time to settle thoughts, to weigh responses, and to act with purpose rather than impulse. Those who understand this principle do not react, they respond with precision. Silence ensures that words carry weight, that when they are spoken, they resonate with impact rather than being lost in the noise. Those who rely on silence understand its strategic power in growth and leadership. They move with intention, speak only when necessary, and recognize that silence does not mean absence of thought, but presence of control. It is the weapon of those who play the long game, who build without unnecessary exposure, and who emerge stronger than those who seek validation through constant words. They understand that silence creates mystery, and mystery creates intrigue. The world is drawn to those who do not beg for attention, but command it through sheer presence. Everything of value is developed in silence. The strongest minds, the most resilient spirits, and the most determined individuals learn in solitude, away from the distractions of external influence. Silence is where mastery is born, where discipline is refined, and where execution begins. Those who learn to cultivate it find themselves miles ahead of those who constantly seek external validation. The ability to remain silent is not just a skill. It is a mindset, a way of life that separates the powerful from the weak. Energy is your most valuable currency, yet it is spent carelessly by those who do not understand its true worth. Every thought, every action, every interaction demands energy, and if you are not deliberate about where you invest it, you will find yourself exhausted, depleted, and disconnected from your own purpose. The world is full of distractions, people who drain your focus, conversations that add no value, and obligations that serve no real purpose in your life. Your ability to protect your energy determines your ability to succeed, because what you feed grows, and what you neglect withers. You wake up every day with a limited amount of energy. Yet most people give it away without question. They argue over meaningless things. They respond to negativity. They explain themselves to those who will never understand, and they engage in battles that were never theirs to fight. And at the end of the day, they wonder why they feel drained, why they are too tired to work on their own goals, why their motivation seems to fade. But the answer is simple. Because they wasted their energy on things that do not build them. The strongest individuals understand that energy must be guarded, not given away freely. They know that every interaction has a cost, and they refuse to spend their energy where it does not serve them. They do not argue with fools. They do not entertain drama. And they do not allow distractions to pull them from their purpose. They understand that silence, focus, and strategic movement preserve their energy for what truly matters: growth, success, and personal mastery. There is power in choosing where you invest your energy. Every time you engage in unnecessary conflict, every time you chase validation, every time you let someone else's negativity consume your thoughts, you are spending energy that could have been used for something far more valuable. Your dreams require energy. Your goals require energy. Your discipline, your self-improvement, your ability to build the life you want. It all requires energy. And if you are constantly wasting it on people and situations that do not contribute to your growth, you are robbing yourself of the very fuel needed to rise. Most people believe they need to respond to everything. They feel an obligation to explain themselves, to engage in every conversation, to give their attention to every situation that demands it. But this is an illusion, a trap designed to keep them distracted and drained. There is immense power in ignoring, in withdrawing your energy from the things that do not serve you, in refusing to waste your time proving yourself to those who will never understand you. The ability to say no, to walk away, to remain silent, is not weakness. It is self-preservation. Every time you allow unnecessary negativity into your life, you are feeding it, strengthening it, making it more powerful than it should ever be. Toxic people thrive off the energy you give them. Their words hold weight only if you engage. Their presence has power only if you allow it. The moment you withdraw your energy, the moment you refuse to engage, they lose control. They become powerless in the face of your silence, because they cannot drain what is no longer available to them. Energy must be protected, because it determines how far you will go. The most disciplined individuals do not spend their energy chasing approval, explaining their actions, or engaging in meaningless conflicts. They channel it into their vision, their mastery, their execution. They understand that success is built on focus, and focus is impossible when energy is spent recklessly. The ability to protect your energy is the ability to control your life. Because what you give your attention to will dictate the trajectory of your future. You do not owe your energy to anyone who does not bring value into your life. You do not owe explanations, responses, or reactions to those who seek to drain you. You owe it to yourself to move with precision, to direct your focus only toward what strengthens you, to guard your mind against the forces that seek to scatter your purpose. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your presence, your time. And once you recognize this, once you stop wasting your energy on everything that does not serve you, you will feel a shift. An unshakable strength that grows from within. Energy, once wasted, is gone. It is not like time, which moves forward endlessly, nor like money, which can be earned again. It is finite. It is precious. And it is entirely within your control. When you learn to protect it, you will realize that you have more power than you ever imagined. You will move with clarity, execute with discipline, and rise above the noise with effortless control. And that is when true mastery begins. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against another person. It is against yourself. The world teaches competition as a race against others, convincing you that success comes from outperforming someone else, from reaching a higher rank, from proving superiority. But true mastery, true dominance, comes from looking inward, from refining the person you were yesterday, from eliminating weaknesses and strengthening your mind with relentless precision. When you focus on competing with others, you rely on external benchmarks that were never designed to serve your individual growth. But when you compete with yourself, you become the architect of your own evolution, constantly pushing beyond your limitations, never settling for stagnation. People waste valuable energy comparing their progress to others, measuring their worth by external validation, chasing recognition that does nothing to strengthen their foundation. They look left and right, distracted by the movements of those around them, instead of locking their gaze forward, moving with unshakable determination toward their own vision. The most powerful individuals understand that the only opponent worth fighting is the one staring back at them in the mirror. Every day presents an opportunity to level up, to sharpen skills, to test discipline, to rise above old patterns that no longer serve growth. The competition is not with the person next to you. It is with your own hesitation, your own doubt, your own excuses. Mastery demands a ruthless focus on personal progress. The moment you allow external comparisons to dictate your path, you surrender your power. You start chasing someone else's version of success instead of forging your own. You shift your energy toward proving something to the world, rather than refining yourself in silence. The strongest individuals do not concern themselves with where others stand. They know that the only measure of success that matters is how far they have come from where they started. It is the relentless commitment to becoming a stronger, wiser, more disciplined version of oneself that separates the great from the mediocre. Competition with others breeds insecurity because it keeps you trapped in a cycle of measuring your worth against standards that were never designed for you. It forces you to compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. But when you compete with yourself, you step into a mindset of growth, understanding that your only mission is to surpass your past limitations. You focus on refining your strengths, eliminating your weaknesses, and learning from every setback. You recognize that progress is not determined by external applause, but by the quiet, disciplined actions you take when no one is watching. When you train yourself to battle only against your former self, you cultivate resilience. You begin to embrace discipline as the foundation of transformation. You understand that growth is not about proving superiority to others, but about mastering the small, daily victories that build unstoppable momentum. Every challenge becomes a test of your commitment. Every setback becomes an opportunity to recalibrate and push forward with even more intensity. The distractions fade. The need for validation disappears. You stop chasing recognition and start executing with laser, sharp focus. The greatest minds in history did not rise by competing with others. They rose because they refused to let their past selves dictate their future potential. They understood that their only true adversary was their own weakness, their own hesitation, their own comfort zone. They pushed past fear, doubt, and external expectations, breaking boundaries that once confined them. They did not concern themselves with proving their worth to the world. They simply focused on becoming exceptional, and in doing so, the world was forced to recognize their strength. Your energy should not be spent watching others, comparing results, or trying to fit into someone else's narrative. It should be spent refining your craft, sharpening your skills, and fortifying your mindset. The person who moves in silence, who works with precision, who executes with consistency. This is the person who dominates. There is no shortcut, no quick victory, no external trophy that will make you successful. The only way to rise is to become better than you were yesterday, every single day, without exception. The ones who win are the ones who wake up with the mindset that today is about proving something to themselves, not to anyone else. They do not look to the left or right. They do not waste energy trying to outrun someone else. They move with purpose, pushing forward without distraction. Their goal is simply to be stronger, smarter, and more disciplined than the person they were yesterday. And in that pursuit, they find mastery, not because they won against others, but because they conquered themselves. Success is never announced. It is built in silence, refined in solitude, and revealed only through undeniable results. The world is filled with noise, with people who talk endlessly about their plans, their ambitions, their dreams. But the ones who truly succeed understand that words mean nothing without action. They do not waste time explaining their intentions or seeking validation. They move with precision, executing their vision without distraction, without unnecessary exposure. Their focus is absolute, their discipline unshakable, and their results undeniable. The loudest voices are often the weakest. Those who constantly speak of their goals, who broadcast their every move, who seek recognition before they have achieved anything, are the ones who rarely follow through. Success does not come from words. It comes from relentless execution, from the quiet, disciplined effort that compounds over time. The strongest individuals do not announce their plans, they build them. They do not seek applause. They earn respect through undeniable achievement. They understand that true power is not in talking. It is in doing, Execution is the separator between those who dream and those who achieve. Many people have ideas, ambitions, and desires, but few have the discipline to act consistently, to push forward without distraction, to refine their craft in silence. The ones who rise are the ones who work when no one is watching, who sharpen their skills without seeking approval, who execute with ruthless precision. They do not waste time proving themselves to others, they prove themselves through results. Their success is not loud, it is undeniable. The world rewards execution, not intention. No one cares about what you plan to do, what you hope to achieve, or what you dream of becoming. The only thing that matters is what you actually do. The ones who succeed understand this. They do not waste time talking about their ambitions. They channel every ounce of their energy into execution. They move in silence, refining their craft, eliminating distractions, and focusing entirely on results. And when they finally arrive, the world does not ask how they did it. It simply recognizes their success. Discipline is built in silence. Growth is cultivated in solitude. The strongest individuals do not seek validation, they seek mastery. They understand that success is not about proving anything to others. It is about becoming the best version of themselves. They do not waste time explaining their moves, they simply make them. They do not seek recognition. They let their results speak for themselves. They know that the only thing that matters is execution, and they dedicate themselves entirely to it. The ones who rise above the rest are the ones who understand the power of quiet execution. They do not announce their plans, they refine them. They do not seek approval, they focus on results. They do not waste energy on distractions. They channel it entirely into their vision. They understand that success is not built through words. It is built through relentless action, through disciplined execution, through unwavering focus. And when they finally achieve their goals, the world does not ask how they did it. It simply acknowledges their greatness. Success is not about being seen. It is about being undeniable. The ones who truly succeed do not chase recognition, they chase mastery. They do not waste time proving themselves, they focus entirely on execution. They understand that the only thing that matters is results, and they dedicate themselves entirely to achieving them. They move in silence, refining their craft, eliminating distractions, and focusing entirely on their vision. And when they finally arrive, the world does not question their success. It simply recognizes it. The strongest individuals do not seek validation, they seek mastery. They do not waste time explaining their moves, they simply make them. They do not seek recognition, they let their results speak for themselves. They understand that success is not about proving anything to others. It is about becoming the best version of themselves. They do not waste time talking about their ambitions. They channel every ounce of their energy into execution. And when they finally achieve their goals, the world does not ask how they did it. It simply acknowledges their greatness. Execution is the only thing that matters. The ones who succeed do not waste time proving themselves to others. They prove themselves through results. They do not seek approval, They focus entirely on their vision. They do not waste energy on distractions. They channel it entirely into execution. They understand that success is not built through words. It is built through relentless action, through disciplined execution, through unwavering focus. And when they finally achieve their goals, the world does not question their success. It simply recognizes it. Success is never announced. It is built in silence, refined in solitude, and revealed only through undeniable results. The ones who truly succeed understand that words mean nothing without action. They do not waste time explaining their intentions or seeking validation. They move with precision, executing their vision without distraction, without unnecessary exposure. Their focus is absolute, their discipline unshakable, and their results undeniable. And when they finally arrive, the world does not ask how they did it. It simply acknowledges their greatness.